He has vivid memories of stopping at a gas station in Tennessee as a child and watching the owner turn away his father because he was black. He can also recall going to segregated schools as a child. Illinois Appellate Court Justice Nathaniel Howes says life experiences like that have helped shape his career on the bench, and it helps him bring a different viewpoint that other judges may not have. Tonight, Justice Howes is one of Chicago's very own.
So when we're watching a trial and they say that the defendant's going to appeal, it comes to you.
It comes to us, and we have 3 judges here, and we'll determine that.
I think you're judging the judges.
In a sense, yeah.
Illinois Appellate Court Justice Nathaniel Howes may be one of the most humble justices you'll ever meet. I mean, you see these judges with the regalia and walking around and doing all this stuff, and I mean, you're real down to earth.
We call that robitis, but I'm down to earth.
Robitis.
We call it robitis. Yeah, they get haughty and have you, but I'm regular. I understand that I was elected. I was not anointed, and I'm just a person.
The justice's demeanor could be the result of his upbringing and the racism he's faced for much of his 68 years.
I can recall when I first began practicing law, I would go up and I would, hello, Your Honor, I'm Nathaniel, I represent Mr. Jones. They say, are you a lawyer? I say, yeah. Are you sure you're a lawyer? Yeah, I'm a lawyer. You can check.
It wasn't his first brush with discrimination, nor would it be his last. Howes grew up in a small town in Tennessee, and although the Supreme Court case, Brown versus Board of Education, made school desegregation the law of the land, he says someone forgot to tell the folks in Murfreesboro.
I was attending Bradley Elementary School, which was the designated school I had to attend. And I was very well aware of the fact that I was attending a segregated school, the colored school they called it back then. There were certain ways you had to deal with people, white folks, because we were in the South in the late 50s.
A time when it was tough for black men to get well-paying jobs. Justice Howes' father, Nathaniel Sr., worked as a janitor on the night shift at a bomb factory, even though he had a master's degree from Tennessee State. He decided he wanted a better life for his wife and 3 kids.
My dad went to Chicago first, and he established himself. He got a job, you know, with the city, and then once he got the apartment set up, my mom and my brother, and we all moved to Chicago.
Howes says he got his gumption from his dad.
When he was 12 years old, he was riding his bike, and a white man hit his bike and damaged his bike. And amazing thing, he actually went to a lawyer asking to sue the guy.
His father eventually got his law degree from Chicago's John Marshall Law School. That inspired Howes to go into law.
One of my fondest memories is on the weekends when my brother and I would be sitting across the table from each other doing our homework, and I could look to the right into the dining room, and there's my dad. He had his law books on the table doing his homework.
Justice Howes looks at his career in law as service to others.
We as judges, when we're put on the bench, we bring our experiences with us, and the way we view the cases and the facts of the cases, we bring that viewpoint with us.
Something very apparent to those he works with. When I mention Justice Howes, what comes to your mind?
Scholarship, fairness, forethought, thoughtfulness, and caring are the words that I would use to best describe Justice Howes.
Howes' love for the law, his fairness, mentorship, and service is what his Loyola University Law School classmate, Jim Faught, remembers most about him.
Nate was, of course, just I think a real good student, and he was always, again, available to his classmates, and a real great part of my memory as a law student.
Welcome to the podium, Justice Howes.
On May 14th, 2022, Howes had the honor of delivering the commencement speech at his alma mater, only the 6th African-American to do so in the school's history.
I was excited and honored to get that phone call. You know, I was shocked because it just came out of the blue.
Find inspiration, explore possibilities, seize opportunities, and serve well.
Classmate Faught, Associate Dean for Administration at the law school, had a little something to do with it and was blown away by his address.
He described it as an opportunity to serve others. It's going to be one of the most rewarding experiences you'll ever have.
I took my father's advice, and it has served me well as I stand before you on my journey as the Justice of the Illinois Appellate Court.
When you were up there speaking, what was going on in your head? I mean, what were you thinking while you were up there just talking to all these students?
To be honest, I was thinking about my father when I started. I said, I wish he could have been here to see me, because I was talking about the story I just told you about, the sitting at the dining room table, and I thought about him and I almost had tears in my eyes.
When it came time to replace Justice Charles Freeman on the Illinois Supreme Court in 2020, Howes lost the nomination.
So losing was bitter, but the thing is, I have the office that I have now, and I'm happy doing the work that I'm doing.
And he's even happier being with his wife, Patricia, for the past 35 years.
I met Patty at a wedding, and she caught the bouquet, and I got the garter. And we talked, and we clicked, and we've been together since. So I'd say we married up.
Illinois Appellate Court Justice Nathaniel Howes. He's one of Chicago's very own. Justice Howes continues to mentor many of the law students from Loyola's Law School. Associate Dean Fott also tells us the justice has given jobs to many graduates throughout his decades-long career in law.